Hi, everyone. Welcome to the new year. We made it 2020. Woohoo! Crazy. I hope you had a great time with your family and enjoyed bringing in the new year and all the new unknowns. And, I'm not a big fan of unknowns. I tend to be a creature of habit. And yet it's so funny because there's a piece of me that needs the change and the variety. And when it doesn't come, then I get kind of in a funk. So it's kind of a dance between, will I trust God with the unknowns and enjoy the adventure, or will I freak out? So I continue to grow in that. And I know that I'll have opportunity to do that in 2021 as well. And I look forward to doing it with you. And that's the whole point of this podcast, is so that we can together grow in freedom and together go deeper. And I am always just so shocked at the levels of freedom that there are. And even as now it's a couple years since my book has been written, and it has been out there, and different courses I've created. And it's just, even as I have been creating content on freedom, God has been actively at work in my life, taking me to a different new level of freedom. So much so that sometimes I'm like, oh my goodness, like what I've been teaching is just right at the surface level, and there's like a billion layers more. And God is so faithful to remind me that we're all on different levels at different places at different seasons in life. And that is awesome. And that's totally what it is to be human. And that is totally fine. And so as he grows me, he is also growing you and each of us as we're willing and wanting him to grow us. And so I just want to invite you into a whole new year of growth and encouragement and togetherness, that we're not in this on our own, because we aren't built to do life on our own. We're supposed to do it in community. And even though that can be tricky with COVID, we still have technology, hallelujah, and we still have different ways of interacting. And that is such a win. So if you ever want to connect with me, I have a page on Facebook, Andrea Fair with Flying Free Ministries. You can also head to my website, www.andreafair.com, and see what is happening in the Freedom Flow Academy and check out the different courses there. Or you can just contact me through my website and say, hey, let's book that complimentary session. I would love to have a coaching session and just kind of see which course would be best for me, or what you would recommend in this situation. Because I just am doing this on purpose for you. I am a part of Flying Free Ministries because God has told me to create it so that others might grow in their freedom along with me, and how he's been growing me in my freedom. So yay, I'm excited for this year and what God has for us. And this quarter, our focus is going to be freedom in stewardship. So if you go to my website, you can click on the Freedom and Stewardship picture that is under the Freedom Flow Academy, and you'll see that there's 3 different courses that I've developed, and those are all pertaining to stewardship. So stewardship of our time, that's to create a schedule that makes you smile. I love this course. Takes you about 1 hour to go through. You watch the videos, you watch a little video to answer the questions, and do that a few times. And at the end, you've actually created a schedule that's going to help you smile throughout the week and not be feeling like, oh, I'm behind. What am I doing? When does that fit? Where does it go? You will actually know the answer to those questions and be able to just have more space to breathe in your life, which I am a big fan of. And I love that create a schedule that makes you smile course is just transferable. So in seasons of life, like for us, we have do sports, or back in the olden days, but pre-COVID, we did sports and different, when the changes happen for the different seasons of sports, I would find that I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on? And now it's like I have this template that I can just go back to and be like, okay, Andrea, what is actually all happening in your life right now? How can we streamline it? What are the priorities? And it just walks you through practical, powerful questions that really lead you into freedom in your schedule. And for me, that's stewardship, right? Because our time is a gift from God, and we're supposed to use that the best of our ability. And He doesn't want us panicking about how we're using our time. Therefore, it helps to have our schedule in order so that we can move forward. Underneath freedom and stewardship on my website, you'll also see play more, work less. And that is also a powerful little mini course, short one. Again, you download the study guide and then you check out the video, do the work, and go back and forth between the two and end up with an action plan at the end to help you move out of working so much into playing more. And with the understanding that sometimes we just are saying yes to things without really thinking through all the why, and why am I actually doing this, and if it actually lines up with who we are and what God's calling us to in that moment. And so that can be just a really powerful exercise, a great thing to do at the beginning of the new year, just to check in and say, okay, where in my life should I just, do I need to let something go? And it kind of eases you into that transition and it shows you how to do it. So that is the second little mini course there. And then the third one is start living your dream. And that's really all about just reminding, dusting off those dreams that we've had and saying, okay, I have had this dream and I wanted to act on it, but I don't know when and how and if and it kind of just helps you work through what are my dreams and just gives yourself permission to dream again. Because I know as an adult, I definitely just think of putting one foot ahead of the other in different seasons in life. And then there's other seasons where it's like, wait a minute, I have some time and I just kind of watching Netflix. What should I be doing, or what would be better? Or I just don't have a sense of fulfillment. And so as we dig into that, we see that there's nudges in our heart that God has given to us for a reason, and then he actually has given us the steps we can take, and it's an incredible little course. So those courses are all, you can buy them individually, you can do them as self studies, or you can say, hey, I want one of them and do a coaching hour with Andrea. Or you can say, hey, I want all three of them and some coaching hours with Andrea. And there's all those options are on the website. Of course, if it's like, I don't know, I'm not sure what to do, definitely just click on the contact Andrea and just send me email and say, hey, can I book a complimentary session? And I'll say, definitely, and we will together chat and figure out what's the best fit for you, and get you headed in the right direction for 2021. And I'm just so excited to do that with people and to enjoy those conversations. And what I do is you just show up to the Zoom, I'll send you a link, and if you want, I record the session, and so you have it for future use. And we just talk about your life, and you just share whatever you want, and I just listen. And together, we just listen and lean in and ask some questions and answer some questions and see what is the bottom line. What's the main thing that keeps coming up? And then I can just give you some encouragement as to what are some action steps you can take. And likely, you don't really need me to give you the action steps, because often we know what the action steps are that we need to take. We just need that person outside of our heads to say, yeah, that's a great plan. Yeah, you have the steps. Yes, this is what you need to do, and encourage us in that. That's been a game changer for me. The people, my coaches, oh my goodness, oh, I'm so blessed. And when I sit with them and under them, I learn so much, and I am refurbished and ready to move on into the next thing. And that is being a great steward, right? Stewardship, biblically, is utilizing and managing all resources God provides for the glory of God and the betterment of his creation. And so stewardship sounds like this big crazy word, but it's like we're just taking care of what God's given us. And so this quarter, that's January through March, the podcast will be focused on stewardship and how do we use our time, how do we use our energy, how do we use our talents, or I didn't know if I should say talents or calling or gifts, but basically the things that make us smile, how do I use them for God's glory? So when people say, man, you are an amazing musician, or oh man, you really know how to invite people over. Not that we're allowed during COVID, but like if we were to, or when we were to, or you have great ideas for gifts, or whatever. People have blessed you by saying that, or you kind of know in your heart that you just feel extra happy when you are creating that blog post, or you are creating that beautiful meal, or whatever it is that makes you smile. um, how do we use that for God's glory? And I have been thinking about this and pondering it, and even like I mentioned, I think last podcast about the unhackable training I had taken to be a certified coach. um, they really pushed us to be like, hey, what's this boon, like what's this big your deepest desire, what do you want to see happen, and how will you do that? And part of it's like, I don't really even know how, and part of it's just learning how to recognize what's ours to steward, and then asking God to show us what that looks like and leaning into what he has for us. And then it moves from being this like, oh my goodness, how do I be a good steward, and we're just messing it all up, and this perfectionist, trappy, stressy brain, to the freedom, flow, brain, which is more of a, okay, God, this is your time. This is your energy that you're giving me. These are the talents you've put in me. Where do you want me to use them? And what does that look like? And then it moves from this, I must do it, to an invitation to journey with Him daily. And that's really what Flying Free Ministries is all about, right? Enjoying our everyday Savior and His everyday freedom. And as we do that, we fly free. Oh, you guys, it is awesome. And I am so thankful for this opportunity to talk with you and to just let you know what's coming up for this quarter. Please make sure you connect with me in whatever way works best for you. I'm on Flying Free Ministries is on Instagram. I also have a page on Facebook, Andrea Fair with Flying Free Ministries, also my website, www.andreafair.com. And you can definitely reach out to me and say, this is what I'm struggling with. Can you do a podcast on this for stewardship? Can you answer this question? And I would love to connect with you and just really get to know you better, because I do this for you and I do this so that I can share the things I've learned and encourage others. I know different women have been through my work, these mini courses, and it's been fun to hear them have more space in their lives. And someone recently just said, oh my goodness, uh, being able to streamline, to actually know which day is my errand day or when I can book an appointment, is so nice for my brain. I don't have to wonder and try to sort out every time I have to book an appointment for my kids or myself. I just know, okay, Wednesdays is when I do appointments, so it has to fit on a Wednesday. And so takes out some of the stress that we put on ourselves unnecessarily. And that is also a beautiful thing, when we can just journey peacefully. And so that is what this next quarter is all about. And I look forward to hearing from you. And I thank you for just leaving a review wherever you can. And blessings on you and yours.